What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Retro Madness, and this month I got through 7 games and pretty excited to showcase what I played through. Be sure to stick to the very end because I'm going to basically give what I think is my personal favorite out of the 7 will be the last game I show. So yeah, cue the intro. Alright, so the first game that I played was Digimon Survive. This is actually the very first visual novel that I actually played from beginning till end. I tried playing other visual novels before. I think what's coming to my mind is like Utawara Rumono. I don't know if I said that right. But I've always just, I guess I find it tedious and it was never sort of my thing, but I wanted to adventure and try something a little bit different than the typical games that I play. And I gotta say, I really did enjoy this though. When I went into this game, I didn't know too much about it. What I did know was it was a visual novel and that they had tactical RPG elements in it. But what I didn't know was that it's actually a horror title. I mean, it's not like, you know, jump scare scary or anything like that, like a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill game, but it has a very horror theme. The music is very eerie and stuff like that too, and it's a nice tone to the game. The opening theme is so good too. I really like the music in here, and I like how the setup is when it comes to like the exploration and stuff. Within the exploration, you can actually like battle other Digimon. You can like capture and like basically you befriend them. So you go through a series of questions, and then, you know, if they like your question, you get a percentage chance. And I mean, there was like honestly a wave of nostalgia, dude, that came my way playing this. Just Digimon that I completely forgot. I mean, this IP, it's been since I was a child. I pretty much forgot everybody, like down to like, think about Agumon to War Greymon, and then, you know, even like the fusion stuff, like I completely forgot that existed, and it just sort of slowly came back to me. And you know, I really did enjoy this game. Just understand what you're getting yourself into, because this is ultimately a visual novel. But I don't know if I'll try more visual novels. I'll definitely give it a shot. I guess I shouldn't say. I should definitely give more a shot. However, I think the IP is what kept me going, you know? So hopefully I'll try more and pick up some other visual novels, because I did enjoy it. It's a long game. It's definitely not short. And but the gameplay that was in it was really fun. Near the end of the game, the gameplay ramps up a lot. So if you do a lot to build your team, and you build the, you know, they have kind of like an affinity system with every single character. I don't want to say too much. No spoilers, obviously, when it comes to the games and stuff like that. So if you do everything, you know, and you really, you know, the end of the game is actually really fun. The end of the game is really fun because there's a lot of the gameplay is like really at the end of the game. So I really did like this. I'm gonna give more a shot though, but I'll be very selective on the visual novels that I choose going forward. So yeah, Digimon Survive was my first game. Alright, the second game that I played was Crypt of the Necro Dancer. When I initially played this, we were confused. I played this co-op. I played this with my siblings, and I didn't realize like I never really played this. I don't know what would you call this? It's not a dungeon. Is it called a dungeon crawler? I should have probably looked that up. But initially when we played this, we were totally confused. At first we were like, what are we doing? I kind of wasn't into it, and they weren't into it too. And then as we kept trying, realizing that you got to go into the levels, you keep collecting like the gems, and you use that to upgrade, you find more people, and then that's sort of the basis of the game. You just keep trying, because each level it changes, like, you know, it's randomly generated. So as we got more into the game, kept trying, then it got really fun, then it got addictive. So full disclosure, unfortunately did not finish this game though. So there was level 5s on, there was up to level 5 on the screen. So we got all the way up to level 4, and for whatever reason the game crashed. My PS5 crashed, went back in, my save data was completely gone. So we had full intentions to finishing the game. It showed up to level 5, so I'm assuming level 5 that meant the game was done, but maybe there was more. I'm thinking there's probably post-game stuff, and that's what, you know, keep going. But it was really fun, honestly. Once you get the hang of it and you understand what the game is, it's a very like rhythm based. You go along with it, and you know, as you keep upgrading, you get stronger, you get more weapons, you start understanding how to use the weapons. It's pretty fun. You know, especially co-op. Especially co-op is very fun. So yeah, Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Alright, the third game that I played, and I'm super late to the party with this one, but man, what a phenomenal game, dude. God of War. I initially called Horizon Zero Dawn a masterpiece, which it is. But this is really a masterpiece. Absolutely a phenomenal game. I had a bit of a tug of war when it came to like what's my favorite game for this month, and I really wanted this, but I think something else kind of edged it just a little bit. But I gotta say, what an absolutely amazing game. The story was amazing. It really doesn't need much introduction, but you know, even if like you haven't played or not too, you know, just even if you're remotely familiar with Kratos and the original God of War games, there's still so much in there. Like just there's a moment in there that I can't say, obviously, you know, for spoiler reasons, but they do a really good job of balancing like nostalgic, you know, early games, but also kind of this new chapter for Kratos. I love all the relationships. I love the relationships that were lost, that was created, him and his son, that ending, just everything about this game was absolutely amazing. This, to me, is pretty much a must-have for the PS4. You gotta have God of War. So really late to the party, but I'm really happy I played this, man. This was a truly amazing game. I'm looking forward to the next one. So yeah. The fourth game that I played was The Princess Guide on the Nintendo Switch. This is it's a pretty good game. It's a very light-hearted game, very short. It's a very good sort of like filler in between game when from a long game or something you just want to beat very quickly. If you wanted to, you can really beat this in a day. It's very short. You play as this master swordsman who's basically hired to help these princesses, and they all have individual stories. They're very quick, and you know, you just end up beating their missions, their quests. So it's basically a top-down Zelda-like, not Zelda-like, but like hack and slash. It has combos and stuff like that. So you know, you can upgrade your equipment, you can you know, add to your units and stuff like that, and you just become stronger, beefier, and you go through each princess. Once you get through all four, the game's done. So it's very much like a 3DS style game. I don't know if it's a 3DS port, but you know, I enjoyed it. I took this to work and I beat on my lunch break, you know, a couple lunch breaks, and I was done. So good little filler in between game. It's not a super hardcore kind of game though, but it's you know, a very good game to just get through real fast. So yeah, The Princess Guide on the Switch. Alright, so for the fifth game that I played, and I really enjoyed this game. This game was a ton of fun, and it was It Takes Two. We played this co-op. It was 3 of us. I mean, at one point we had our entire family involved. I had my son and my parents there too and everything. It was a ton of fun. Honestly, this game really like on the fundamental level had co-op in mind. They did such a great job on having both players really involved and throughout the entirety of that game. So I don't know the experience playing it single, but playing it co-op, especially couch co-op, this is the way to go, man. This was a really fun game, especially for the family too, if you want everyone involved. It's a great game, man. You basically play as these two. They're the parents of a child, and you know, certain events happen and they turn into a doll, and they're basically going through a divorce, and that's sort of, you know, without going too much into the plot, they basically have to go through certain things which they learn about themselves, etc. There's this the story itself is actually really good. You feel bad for them, then you start hating them, then you kind of fall in love with them. It's all over the place though, but it's a really good job on the story and the gameplay itself too. This is a must play. If you have anybody to play this with, definitely play It Takes Two. Alright, for the sixth game, so this is something I mentioned before. I like to watch Let's Plays, and a certain YouTuber by the name of Nico B. I've been really going through his, you know, the games that he played, and I like to experience games through that way too. It's a great way to, you know, get through a game if you don't have time to play. You know, I try to mix in Let's Plays, especially, you know, when I get a free time, I could just watch it and stuff like that. So one thing I noticed that he was playing, I was like, you know, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I absolutely fell in love with the game. At first, it was kind of boring, but I really got into it, and that is Danganronpa, the first one. I just so far only watched the first one. It's such a weird, over the top kind of game, but in the beginning, I was just felt confusion. And as the game goes and as he's playing through it, you really start understanding what the game's about. And there's a certain part of the game where the backstory starts getting, you know, kind of revealed. That's when the game really thickens. So they go through these sort of class trials, which is very like theatrical and just completely over the top. And it's a fun visual novel. So I think going forward I might just watch visual novels. It's kind of the same thing, but you know, do whatever works for you. For me, watching Let's Plays works. I like to watch 1 or 2 games. Yeah, but I did enjoy this actually. It's really fun. I look forward to the future titles. So Danganronpa, you got a new fan. It's a pretty good game. Now, before I show the final game, there was one game that I didn't finish. So this game would be considered incomplete. But that is Callisto Protocol. I tried to pinpoint exactly what it was why did I not play this. I thought it was okay. I don't want to say it's like bad. It's definitely like a new gen horror title. So we were playing this basically between 2 nights, and both those nights my sisters fell asleep. It was just me playing, and they weren't feeling it. So at the end of the day, I wasn't feeling it. So I don't know. When I really get into these horror titles, I really want to, you know, really get into it. Like I got them really into Resident Evil, and so we really get into Resident Evil. But this, I don't know. I try to figure out what it was, and what I'm thinking is, I could be wrong, but I think what was happening is, the entire game is one tone. It's just one tone. It's from the beginning, like you could fall asleep and a couple hours wake up and it'll look like the same game. Visually a beautiful game, but it didn't feel different. Maybe, I'm sure it's by design because it's in a prison, so maybe it was supposed to be that way, but it just, I made us fall asleep, so. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it, unfortunately, so. Yeah, there's that Callisto Protocol. Alright, for the final game, and the game that I enjoyed the most was Scarlet Nexus. I really enjoyed this game. I sunk in quite a bit of hours. I think I almost got, it was 30 some hours. Granted, my Xbox was probably still running. I got kids running around the house and stuff too. So, but still, I really enjoyed this game. You play, there's basically 2 routes. You play as either the male protagonist, which is Yuito, or you play as the female Kasane, which is what I chose. I played through her route, completed hers. I thought about doing it, but the story's kind of the same. They meet up and then the endings, you know, I'm sure there might be something unlocked that, you know, I'll look more into that. I know there's certain characters that are unique when you play each other's route, but ultimately the story, they meet each other as the story goes. So, it's not the craziest, most memorable story in the world. I thought it was really good. I still liked it, don't get me wrong. But what made it really special was the bond system that they had. And you basically create these bonds with them and you learn more about their backstory. I really did like that. I really did enjoy all the characters. I thought they were really, really good. But one of the main things that I liked was the SAS system, which is what they called their way of, you know, their special abilities. They basically copy and borrow their teammates' powers. And so the more bond you have with those teammates, the more, you know, special abilities you will get. They'll aid you and you'll, you know, get other special perks. And that gameplay loop is actually really fun. Mixing and matching and putting it all together. And the overall combat, I actually really did enjoy this. I thought it was a ton of fun. For a lot of fun and creative fights. I will say at the end of the game, near the end of the game, if you guys played this, there's a crap ton of fights. And some of the more annoying, you know, they call it others, which is the monsters in the game, and they can be a little bit annoying, but still, it was very fun. And it goes to show you, you know, story is super important, but man, gameplay is still king at the end of the day. I really did enjoy this, and I highly, highly recommend you grab this game. So, you know, Scarlet Nexus, man, definitely give this a try. But yeah, these are the games that I played this month, and you know, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and leave a like, and, you know, comment down below. Let me know if there's any other games that maybe I should check out and try. I got tons of games to try out, so let me know. Later, guys.